A Nation's Hope, the story of boxing legend Joe Louis. On the eve of World War II, African-American boxer Joe Louis fought German Max Schmeling in a bout that had more at stake than just the world heavyweight title. For much of America, their fight came to represent America's war with Germany. This elegant and powerful picture book biography centers around the historic fight in which black and white America were able to put aside prejudice and come together to celebrate our nation's ideals. Yankee Stadium, 1938. Packed crowd buzzing and bets bantered back and forth. The Bronx night air thick with summer. The world waits for Joe Louis to take the ring, take center stage. White men wait standing beside black men, but standing apart, Jim Crow America. All to witness the most important boxing match in boxing history. Soft-spoken Joe Louis against the one man who put him on his back. But Joe knows tonight's fight is bigger than any two men. Son of a black sharecropper against Hitler's master race. Black and white Americans together against the rule of Nazi hate. The weight of history hangs on Joe's shoulders as he ducks through the ropes, body already glazed with warm-up sweat. Will he come through for his country? The German Max Schmeling enters second, both boxers dancing in their own corners, shadow box jabs caught in flash of camera. The referee calls the two to center ring. Biggest stage ever, he shouts over the crowd. May the best man win, he shouts. The bell dings and the two men raise fists, come together under a deafening roar. But the crowd didn't always roar for Joe Louis. He didn't speak until he was 6, and when he finally spoke, he stammered and was ridiculed. Words spinning just beyond Joe's grasp. And with black skin, he passed through childhood in shadows. Yet there was something about his hands. So big and powerful, nights he'd stare down at those hands and dream. Joe's mom said it was music, and one morning sent him out with gathered change for a violin lesson. Joe ducked inside a gym instead, spied men twice his age and size pounding heavy bags and skipping rope. He returned day after day, slowly stepping out from shadows. First time inside the ring as an amateur, though his opponent was a blur of fists and footwork, sent Joe toppling to the canvas 7 times. Bruised jaw and bruised ego, but Joe came back. He watched older boxers spar and listened and grew into his body. The space between ropes became home. The dance of the fight, 2 men circling, shuffling, a delicate balance, movement based on the other guy's eyes. Back then, blacks didn't win decisions, not against whites. Joe has to let his fists be the referees. In his first professional fight, he knocked a man clear out of the ring. But in victory, Joe didn't raise his gloves and gloat. He helped opponents to their feet and shook their hands. More knockouts followed. Each new city, another fallen man. His legend quickly spread across the country, people scrambling for a glance of Joe in a cab or coming from a cafe. Black neighborhoods, longing for a hero to call their own, found Joe and danced his every triumph in the streets. Hundreds surrounding Joe and his wife down a Harlem sidewalk. Joe always smiling, always humble, waving back with those powerful hands. Once a boyhood dream, now a people's hope. But in the height of Joe's fame, Hitler's German caught him with his gloves down, and Joe woke up on his back. Devastated, he covered his face, leaving the ring. Shadows once again falling, and the taste of failure. Harlem streets struck silent. Joe healed and vowed to battle back. He worked even harder as the world threatened war around him. Word leaked out that the Nazis were filling concentration camps in Europe, just as Joe got another shot at the German. It was now more than just blacks who needed a hero. It was all of America, and color was set aside. $70,000 erupt as Joe leaps from his corner at the bell. The entire stadium leaning into toes and holding its breath. Ears glued to radio in every home, in every city. The entire world stopping. Its fate seemingly all in Joe's hands. Instead of waiting this time, Joe is first to strike. He jabs and retreats and jabs again, and his gloves never dropping an inch. He stings the German with an overhand right, and the crowd goes crazy. But Joe hears nothing. He strikes again, sends the German down. Soon as the German is up, Joe is on him again. A relentless fury of gloves and passion. The weight of the moment lifting, shadows disappearing. The German goes down again and again, until his cornerman throws in the white towel and the referee waves Joe away. On June 22nd, 1938, Joe Louis and Max Schmeling met for the second time in the boxing ring. Schmeling had won the first fight, and the fight was held in Yankee Stadium before a crowd of 70,000. It was broadcast by radio to millions of listeners around the world. Just like that, it's over. Joe has shocked the world. The entire stadium in pandemonium. White men hugging black men, and black men hugging back. The streets of Harlem once again dancing for their hero. But all of America dancing this time.